I have two major takeaways from the Artemis mission. So if you don't know, NASA just sent a rocket into the sky. Now people are freaking out and saying, we're going back to the moon, we're going back to the moon. Not so fast. There's no people on that rocket, and it went up into the sky, and then you don't see it anymore. And then NASA gave us a CGI image about 2 minutes after it was in the sky. And people are going, look, see, we went back to the moon, we went back to the moon, we went back to the moon. The last moon mission was in 1972. Now, I started looking into moon hoax about 2008, and it was in, I think, 2013. I had a coworker, we were talking politics, and I said I was a libertarian. And he said, do you believe we went to the moon? And I said, well, what does that have to do about being a libertarian? He goes, well, I can't have a political conversation with someone that doesn't think we went to the moon. I don't think that people that don't think we went to the moon should be able to vote. And because you're a libertarian, you're probably a crazy moon hoaxer. Most of you guys are. And I said, well, hold on a second. I don't believe Ron Paul is. I don't believe Rand Paul is. I don't believe any of the libertarians at that time were big into moon hoax. There were people into moon hoax. I happen to be into moon hoax. And I wasn't necessarily wanting to argue it. I want to talk about sound money, and I want the government spending our resources properly. Okay? So I was working a job. He was working a job. I paid probably $3,000 in taxes. That's pretty much what I pay every year in taxes. I don't make a lot of money. I'm in the service industry. I'm a bartender. He was a server. And he seemed to be okay with paying his taxes towards the moon mission. And I said to him, at what point when we don't go back to the moon, are you going to be okay with it? He's like, what are you talking about? We go back all the time. And I was like, no, we don't. We haven't been back since 1972. And he just kind of walked away from me. Then he came back a couple days later, and he wanted to argue with me about moon hoax. So I still didn't want to go over all the stuff about moon hoax. He had gone on Mick West's site and learned about the shadows and all the debunking topics for debunking the moon. No, I didn't want to talk about that stuff. I wanted to talk about the money. And I wanted to talk about the money NASA spends, and I wanted to see if he's okay with that. So I got $3,000 going to taxes, and he's got $3,000 going to taxes. Now, if he wants to spend that money for NASA and space exploration, he should be able to do that. But if I don't want to, why do I have to? And why do you want me to so bad? I feel like you guys want me to pay taxes, and then you don't want to pay taxes, and then you want my tax money to go to abortion, you want my tax money to go to space exploration. I don't want it going to those things. I don't mind spending taxes on roads and infrastructure and feeding the homeless and other things here on Earth, here on terra firma. I don't have a problem with that. The announcer, when the rocket was going up, he said, we rise together.
4-stage engine start. 3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
But on Earth, we're falling together. Society's collapsing. People are getting dumber. And you guys think that's real. And because you think those pictures are real, I'm thinking you're the dumb ones. You think we're dumb because we're not trusting the government because we think the government are liars. The head of NASA should be in jail. The head of that program should be in jail.
James Webb Space Telescope, just how big and vast this universe is. There's a lot out there to explore. And this is the next beginning.
They're stealing our money. That's a fake program. That thing's going up and around the moon. Prove it. That's not true. They're lying. They're absolutely lying. And you guys are okay with wasting our money and just sending it out to outer space. Do you know what Elon Musk did? He littered space. You guys take your trash and you throw it on the ground and you say, government's here to pick it up for me. And then Elon Musk sends a rocket into space with the car, which was alleged. It didn't really happen, just so you know. But they did litter the oceans. I mean, it did go out into the ocean. Because they send these rockets up and then they go in the ocean, they litter the ocean. But even if your space travel is real, they're just littering outer space. Before they even touch foot there, they litter it. And what do they do in outer space? They get rid of their poo-poo, and they hit golf balls and ride little rovers. Now that's all fake. That's all fake, and these people should be in jail, and they're going to be. We're going to catch you guys faking it, and we're going to throw you in jail. But you guys supporting it are supporting a pagan worship system. It's called Artemis. Artemis is a moon goddess. And you guys are taking your energy and using the moon goddess as your mediator to then get godhood, to then worship this system, worship these pagans. You're doing self-worship. You're heathens. And I don't want to worship your God, and I don't want to pay for it. And you're forcing me to pay for it. That's what this is all about. And you guys are stupid if you think those pictures are real. You're absolutely insane. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result, is the definition of insanity. And anybody thinks that we're going to land a person on the moon and that thinks that those moon missions are real is insane.
There are also some mementos like these seeds that we have right here, right, Kayla?
Yeah, we have an example of the moon seeds that will be flying as part of this mission today. And the idea actually comes from an Apollo 14 astronaut, Stuart Roosa, who flew seeds with him to the moon, hundreds of them, and then brought them back to Earth. And then they were planted all over the country and the world, and they're called moon trees.
In 1972 was the last mission. In 1969 was the first mission. The industry, or the organization, was created in 1958. By 1958, 12 years later, they land someone on the moon. Then the last one was in 1972, and then they can't get back because they don't know how to fake it anymore because it just looks so fake. No one's going to believe it when they fake it. So apparently in 2 years, they're going to land someone on the moon, like a people. The next Artemis mission is going to have people on it, and somehow they're going to figure out how to fake it. At the press conference, there was a lady talking to an astronaut, and she's like, well, to be honest, we don't know when it's real and it's not real. When we're in the simulator, we just pretend like it's real. That's what she said.
So this is your first launch on the ground. How does it compare to your launch when you're in the capsule soaring towards space?
I mean, equally emotional, I think.
Yeah.
We train for everything, and so when we're in that capsule waiting for launch, we're just running our procedures. You could almost, trick us and say that we were in the simulator and it wasn't real, but
That's what the lady said. They don't know when it's real. They don't know when it's fake. They just assume it's all real because they're doing alchemy. They just want it to be real. And you guys want it to be real. And that's the part I can't understand. I don't know why you can't understand that we're getting screwed over here on Earth. I know you guys like your video games, and I know you like your TV shows, and you don't go outside very much. And we're forcing you to go outside and see the sun because we're telling you it's not a spinning ball. When you look at the sun, it proves that it's not a spinning ball. The physical experience you don't want to be connected to. You want to put your energy towards a video game world and then live in that video game world, and you think it's going to give you something. And I don't know why you're still doing it, because it's bringing death to this world. And you guys are the ones bringing death to this world, and it's making you unhappy. It's making you just miserable people. You guys are miserable. You guys aren't happy, fun people. I work in a bar, man. The people that know I'm a flat earther, people that don't yell at me for being a flat earther, are fun people. They're like, yeah, I get it. He's questioning things. The people that don't like the fact that I'm a flat earther are miserable people. They just hate human beings. They just walk around angry at people. They walk in with their dogs and want their dogs to be able to poop in the restaurant and then walk out and not even clean up their dog's poop. You pick it up for me. And then they throw their trash on the ground. You pick it up for me. Worship me, worship me, worship me. And no one wants to worship these people. And the tide is changing. No one's worshiping you guys. No one wants your system. Even if you don't think that the moon missions is fake, they still want to take the money and put it here on terra firma. Get what you pay for. Have this tax money work for us. It's all our money. He is right. We do rise together, but we are not rising. We are falling, and we are falling on this earth. Colonizing your little moon rock is the dumbest thing ever. Let's colonize Earth. Let's give everybody a house. When you're born, you should get a house. Every single person should get a house. Now, that's not communism. It's not get what you pay for. If everybody gets a house, it's your birthright. This is your home. You should get a piece of land. You should get deeded a piece of land. They call themselves sirs, and they call themselves kings. And they say this land is theirs because they earned it. You don't earn it. You get it. It's your home. And we should protect it, and we should give it to each other. And we should protect people's rights to own it. And it should be everybody's private property. And then if you want to share your time with other people, that's your prerogative. But you shouldn't be forced to. You shouldn't be forced to worship this stupid government. You guys are stupid. If you believe those pictures, you're stupid.